Man, I'm still stuck in this black and white world. Only one more week. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. We are back with Quadrophenia. Once again, my friends. Man, we've been doing this album for, it feels like, this entire year. I definitely took a break from it for a while, but we are back. And last week, I'd said that I had done Bellboy. I had done a live version of it. I thought I had done the studio track, so we're going to be doing the studio cut of Bellboy and Dr. Jimmy. Those are the two we're doing today, and then next week we will finish up with the other track and a live version of Love Reign Over Me, because I've already heard that track as well. So there we go. I'll link my Who playlist up there if you want to go watch all the other videos, part 1, part 5, whatever. There's so many different ones for this album. I think I'm going to sit down one day and start like making a playlist for each album I've completed for like every band, you know. Just gotta find the time. All right, here we go. The Who, Bellboy. 3, 2, 1, go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 29K, baby, crazy. Oh, Mooney.
Both guilt and flash. Remember the gap where the doors we smashed. Bellboy, I gotta get running now. Bellboy, keep my lip buttoned down. Bellboy, carry this baggage out. Bellboy, always running at someone's bleeding ill. Ooh. You know how I feel.
That is good.
Running at someone's hill. Some nights I still sleep on the beach. Remember when stars were in reach. I wander in early to work. Spend my day licking boots for my perks. Where a man can feel is the only soul in the world that's real. But I see her face coming.
Sounds so cool.
I remember him from those crazy days.
Roger is killing this song, bro.
Ain't you the guy who used to set the paces, riding up in front of 100 faces? I don't suppose you would remember
Best part.
me, but I used to follow you back in '63.
So good.
They've all often changed, but when I look in your eyes, you now. Keep the lip button down.
Keith's vocals are great.
Tear the bloody baggage out. Always running at someone's ear.
Oh my god. That transition. It's smooth.
Always running at someone's ear.
This is the end of side 3. Wow, what a closer for the forgotten side, you know? And start side 4, I think. Okay, now it makes sense. Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
You say she's a virgin, but I'm gonna be the first in. That fella's gonna kill me. Oh, fucking will he? I'm seeing the double. Don't miss me if you can. There's gonna be trouble when she chooses her.
Gin is disgusting, bro. No, thank you. The atmospherics in this are just insane. They went way past the extra mile for this one. They got all the bases covered.
Is it me for a moment? The stars are falling. The heat is rising. The past is calling. Is it me for a moment? The stars are falling. The heat is rising. The past is calling.
tasting it like in my mouth. Keith is incredible, bro. He really is. Nothing on that kid is safe.
Is it me for a moment? The stars are falling. The heat is rising. The past is calling.
You can feel the intensity just ratcheting up.
Is it me for a moment? The stars are falling. The heat is rising. The past is calling.
God damn. It almost sounds like underwater. Wow. Sounds like Genesis. At least that part did. Sound like Tony Banks. Interesting. That's how they end it. Whoa. Oh, I hear it. It's gonna end. Oh, no. We're so close. Still can't believe that was my first fucking Who song, man. No wonder I got hooked. I mean, Jesus Christ. You show somebody that song for their first Who song, you get somebody like me, probably. So Dr. Jimmy included John's theme, Is It Me? I knew that there is something in there that I recognized. And then there's a whole instrumental next called The Rock. And then Love Reign Army to finish it off. If you guys have any suggestions for a good live version of Love Reign Army, I would love it if you could leave it in the comment section. As I don't know which one to do. I'm not going to lie. But I want it to be special. I got something special planned. I don't know what the video is, but I know what I'm going to do for it. What a ride, man. And like I keep saying, the sea themes and the, I don't even know what is he using? The instrument Pete's using? Because at the end there, I mean, God, the sounds he was getting were just out of this world, bro. Keyboards? It just says keyboards. Huh. Guitars, keyboards, banjo, and I had enough cello, backing vocals. Co-lead vocals. Huh. I guess they don't have it really. Because that can't just be keyboards. That's those sounds, man. I don't know what exactly that instrument's called. Obviously, it's a synthesizer of some sort, or keyboard. But, you know, I don't know. It just, that sound was like all enveloping, man. Like you could just, I had really good headphones. So the way I heard that, it just kind of like washes through your head, man. It literally is like an audio form of like a wave going and coming back out. It was so strange. They really went all out for all the different effects, all the different, like I said, atmospheric sounds to kind of make the world feel like it's real and lived in. They do a fantastic job at that. And Roger just drives the story so well with the vocals, his dramaticisms, and the focus on certain words and lines in his cadence to insinuate or, you know, make that stand out more. You know, he's just such a talented vocalist. I think I said in the last video that those two songs who did I say they weren't my favorites from? I don't know. I can't remember. But Roger, he really is in top form here. He really is. Sometimes the instrumentals might outweigh him in a way, and I get lost, and I can't talk about everything every single video. I have to pick a lane and highlight some stuff and then get out. That's it, because I've been doing this album for like 5 or 6 months now. So, I think that his vocals just, like someone said this in a comment in the last video, that basically Pete is filling in the rest of the sounds, the atmospheric sounds, all that stuff, and John and Keith are the ones that are basically driving the instrumental side of it. So the whole rhythm section really does dominate the sound on top of Roger's vocals, and then Pete's guitars will come in occasionally, and then like the keys and the synthesizers are filling in the rest. And you got yourself a concept album right there, man. You get this theme of, I don't know, rebellion, teen angst, wondering what your purpose is, there's a lot of different themes I get from it, and that's mostly that rite of passage that we all have to go through eventually, Well, I can't even say that, because some people stay children forever, Some people stay teenagers forever, They don't actually become adults. I think hold on. I feel like the world kind of invites, this eternal teenage years sort of feeling. They really pushed it on my generation, but because the partying, you only live once, all that was my generation, damn it. But at the same time, it's such a terrible way to live, like when you only think about today, you're not worrying about tomorrow. When someone has to worry about tomorrow, I remember every time someone in like my friend group would say that stupid phrase, YOLO, I'm like, then I'm such a party killer. I'm like, well, actually, but actually back then I didn't really care. I was doing it kind of too, but I always hated that phrase. But it speaks to that inner child within all of us that still searches for purpose and longing in the world, or belonging, I should say, not longing, but that kind of fits too. I can imagine him just sitting there on the beach, just staring off, on a cloudy kind of day. The beach and the waves are just crashing, the wind's blowing, and he's just sitting there staring off, thinking about his life and what he wants to do with it. That's just the imagery that comes to me when I listen to this album, Obviously, the album cover kind of gives you a sort of a reference point, It's the mods or whatever from back then. It's very interesting, I'm not well-versed in, like, London history from the 60s and such, so I can't really comment on the actual cultural context and such, but it is fascinating to hear Pete's tale here, because I think in a way he's talking about himself. I think because you write what you know, and this whole epic of Quadrophenia, it just really feels very personal, like it's coming from a spot of that he's been there. It's not just some made up BS. Some of it might be, dramatized and fictionalized, obviously, but I feel like he's telling his story in a way. And it's interesting that he kind of takes not even a back seat. He just does everything else while everyone else kind of drives the song. He does everything else imaginable on this song, in this album, and it's fantastic, man. He put his heart and soul into this one. I mean, you can really feel it. It just speaks so loudly, what it's trying to say, and it speaks something different to each person, and I think that's the sign of great art, is when everyone gets a different conclusion, but they have the same question, if that makes sense, and it's just wonderful album so far. Keith's drumming in this is just, I mean, come on, dude. You can't say anything bad about Mooney, bro. Like, he literally full extension every time. I mean, like, Energizer Bunny, it's insane. I don't understand where it all comes from. I really don't. He works that kit. Like I said, there is not a single piece of equipment that he has that is not, it's all not safe. You know what I'm saying? He's going to use everything he's got in his arsenal to just make it so like I said, lived in feeling. Like, I feel like his drumming more than anything really makes the songs pop, him and John's bass, they really just pop. It's crazy. Like, I'm used to like the guitar and maybe Roger, and of course John and Keith do their thing too. They're always very high up in the mix doing their thing. But This album is a different story, to be honest, because it's kind of missing Pete's guitars. They took it out. It's like I said, it's still there, but it's not as prominent. And there's more keys and synthesizers and stuff. And there's obviously tracks along the way that are guitar heavy, but I think more than half are very atmospheric and such. And like we have a whole instrumental coming up next week. I think that's crazy, man. 6.5 minute instrumental. I'm with it. Obviously, it's probably gonna set up Love Reign Over Me, because I could hear the theme basically at the last 3 seconds of Dr. Jimmy. You could hear it coming in, and it just got me excited. Now I want to go listen to that song again. But yeah, John and Keith obviously on fire as always. Like I feel like I run out of things to say about them. They're just so good, dude. Like they dominate like in a way that it's kind of, we take it for granted because obviously we're all Who fans. I'm a new convert, but you kind of take it for granted how good these guys are. Like we always say, you got 4 main characters at every position basically. So just a stacked band, like the prototype for a rock band. Even though the Beatles were their own thing, obviously, I feel like the Who were the actual, and the Stones, I guess, but both of those bands were the prototype for like the garage bands and everything that came afterwards. It almost feels like the Beatles were the end and the beginning of what's the word? A cultural shift. You know what I'm saying? They were the end of one thing and the beginning of another. And the Who and the Stones kind of came in there with them, but they all found their own lane and did their own thing. And I think it's just crazy how much impact Britain had back in those days. All the music, everything that was going on in the UK. I mean, that's crazy, man. Like the United States thinks that, we're the center of the world, Maybe we are, but I don't personally think so, obviously. I think it's a wonderful place, obviously, but it's definitely not the center of the world. And people who think that way kind of bug me, because if you talk to anybody, like I've got a friend from South Africa, and she, she comments on everything she sees here, and she's just like, this place is crazy. And I'm like, that's home. I don't really agree with everything that goes on. Obviously nobody does, but I don't know. I still think that this is not even just a country, but just the Western hemisphere, the Western civilization, society. It's something that's beautiful and it's worth fighting for. Obviously, everything has a bloody, barbaric history filled with just blood up to your necks. That's literally what our story is. That's what human history is. It's disgraceful, and it's honestly kind of appalling that that's what it is, but that is what it is. You can't change it, We just got to move forward. We all got to come together, move forward, forget all that shit. You know what I mean? Don't forget it, but just, we got to move forward, And I don't know. I just feel like we've been spinning our wheels for a while, Yeah, ever since I've been conscious. I feel like we're in the same spot we were when I was 18, 16, when I actually started paying attention to stuff in the world, Like, I was a very book smart kid, but then once you get into the real world, it's different, But I don't know, man. Britain just had such a huge impact, and the United States tends to forget that basically that's our father right there, or or our mother, whatever you want to decide. Either or. I guess, wasn't it King George during the Revolution? So I guess it'd be Dad. I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but I love The Who. I love this album, and I cannot wait to finish it up next week. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all. How long have I been talking? 25 fucking minutes. Oh, my God. Shut up, Lee. God. One more thing before you go. We have a really cool Patreon community. We'd love to have you. Join the $15 tier or up. You get one free request a month. There's other tiers and such if you want to do more requests. There's also a PayPal as well in the description. And all Patreon members and such get access to our Discord server. We'd love to have you, like I keep saying. So, what are you doing? Come on. Let's go.